They don't feel a need to do anything else inside. They may have paused their membership due to vacation and a number of other reasons. So we're going to cover a lot of those things today. James, if you could move that slide for me, that would be great. Perfect. But as summer actually draws to an end, the next few weeks are going to be very important in determining whether these reduced summer visits are just a seasonal slump or a blip, or are they a sign of things to come for those specific members and for your clubs specifically. So your goals are to ensure members get back into regular routine of exercise in September, ensuring that they're coming back, and to make sure that they actually keep that going into the fall and beyond, to ensure that they're coming consistently, weekly, monthly, for the many years to actually achieve their goals. So I'm going to share some step-by-step best practices to help guide you through how to re-engage members after a specific break. We're going to talk about three top things: how to reach out to those members who aren't regularly visiting your facilities, start to re-engage them with face-to-face interactions, and continue to build and strengthen the club-to-member relation throughout. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the reach aspect. So who to communicate to. Communications, first and foremost, I want to talk about communications with your members who are off for the summer should never stop. You want to avoid members reacting in a way when they do come back, saying things such as, why didn't you know I was there all summer? Why do you care that I'm back now? Or you didn't even know I was gone. Your goal is to always keep in touch with members who aren't visiting and enticing them back into your club at any touch point. So why do we want to do that? You want them to know that they're part of a community, that you care about what they have committed to right from the beginning when they first join, that you want to help them achieve whatever goal they have, whatever goal they've set for themselves, that you're always there to help them and guide them, and also to ensure that they're keeping your brand top of mind at all times, whether they're in your club or out of your club. So let's think about the feeling that you get when someone sends you a text message or an email, when your phone buzzes, when you see that text, when you see that email, how excited you are to see that someone's actually reaching out to you and wants to talk to you, what that person wants to say to you or has to say to you, or they send you a picture of something interesting. You're always looking for that signal, and it sparks some sort of interest. So when their visits and their attendance is stopped or stalled or changed in some way, your conversations should be to all your members. Your conversations to all your members should always be ongoing. Don't wait for them to drop off before you start talking to them in any way possible. So as a club operator, I want you to ask yourself a couple of questions. Do you have the tools to help identify who those members are who aren't attending your clubs? Which members have changed their frequency of attending and which members have dropped off completely? And if you don't, you need to look at ways or strategies or tools to help you to identify these potential at-risk members, let's call them. And if as an operator you currently do identify those potential members that are not attending your facility as often or have dropped off for the summer, those high-risk members, do you have steps to actually get them re-engaged? How do you reach out currently to those members when they've stopped attending? Do you have some type of digital communications or digital strategy to reach out to those members? And if you do send out communications or reach out to the members, is the content enticing to them? Are you reaching out in the right way? Are the offerings exciting? Are your conversations exciting? Are you reminding them of the value visiting your club adds to their specific lives? So some examples of potential communications, digital communications you might want to try to entice them back into your club or into your sites before September. Do you send them we miss you emails, I wish you were here communications? These sort of communications should include ways to help them stay active. not focus on them not attending, but focusing on what are the things that they potentially could be doing now, and then thinking about trying to help them, provide tips on how to stay active outside the club. This shows them you genuinely care about them as a person, their goals, and you're not just referring to them as a member. And it's important for them to get back into your club, but it's also important for them to know that you care about their goals, period. Send them motivational tips, fitness tips, nutritional tips, educational tips. The goal is to keep your brand top of mind all the time. If you do send them nutritional tips, include a recipe. Can you invite them to a nutrition seminar potentially? Even though they might not have visited your facility within 30 days, that potentially could entice them to come in, have a visit. If you send them a fitness tip, you should back it up with programs or services or Groupex classes to help them achieve their goal within your facility. For example, if they're looking at, if they're doing a lot of gardening, or they have a lot of kids activities they're doing, and the fitness tip might be how to strengthen your back and reduce back pain from doing yard work or playing with the children. Suggest a class they should attend through the slump in their summer visits. Suggest a session with a trainer. Suggest something that's happening in your facility that will help with that specific tip that you're offering. Maybe you offer a fallback into fitness session, motivational tip on how to get restarted after their summer break, or a free fitness assessment. Give them a starting point. Meet with a trainer to reset their goals. Send information in the email communications that are going to reflect your membership demographic. Maybe send them a video. Looking forward to seeing them. Are you publishing a newsletter? This should be something that you're sending to all your members, not just your members that are not attending, whether it's quarterly, monthly, including any event updates, new programs, new staff, what's new. Maybe you have a reno going on. Are you communicating with them through social media, whether that's on Facebook, Twitter, or blog, whatever social media you're actually using? Are you keeping this interesting and up to date? And are these links actually included in your outgoing communications? All your social media information and links should be included in your outgoing communications to your members. Have you asked them to join your social media community to keep them up to date on all the great things that are going on in your clubs? Again, your goal is to entice them back into your facility with exciting offerings, or by reminding them of the value that visiting your club adds to their lives, and keeping your brand top of mind for them, even if they're not within your facility. So let's talk about engaging them. Now that they're back, now what do you do? Well, you need to make sure that you're living up to the expectations that you've created. You need to interact with them and build relationships during every single visit. Your club should be a fun place to be at, where people come to enjoy themselves, socialize, a supportive environment, a close-knit environment. And a close-knit environment goes a long way towards promoting habitual attendance. So get involved with your members in every single touch point. The harsh truth of it is that even if your equipment and your other facilities are impressive, your members may not have any attachment to them at all. What helps is a high level of involvement by you and your teams during every single member's time at the club. So every interaction, every touch point. By taking every opportunity to talk to members, that will allow you and your teams to assess their continued motivation, and an opportunity for you to intervene when you sense that member's motivation may be waning in some way. So our research shows that, just to give you a little research, our research shows that members value being interacted with, and in fact members who are interacted with visit more frequently and stay members much longer. Looking at some of those numbers, 68% of all interactions led to a subsequent visit within the next 7 days once they've been interacted with. and 74% of all interactions where members said they would attend again on a specific date led to a visit on that date or within 7 days of that date. So if they had a committed for a specific service or a specific program or a specific Groupex class on a specific date, 74% of those actually showed up within that specific time frame or within 7 days of that date. And 29% of all interactions where members said that they would attend on a specific date led to a visit on that specific date. So you can see from these stats that if your team has a face-to-face talk or an interaction or communication with members when they're actually in the club, this increases their visit frequency, which we've shown through other research from prior research increases your retention. So it's very important that every single touch point, face-to-face touch point, happens. Some ways to interact with your members. First and foremost, the first point of contact is when they actually scan into your facility. So that, very simple, very basic. We all know it. The smile, the eye contact, the body language goes a long, long way at any point. So whether it's at your front desk, during a sales presentation, on the floor in a Groupex class, making sure that that happens all the time. Welcoming members back, so making a point to know that they haven't been in for a while and welcoming them back. Your front desk is critical to ensure there's always a hello, there's always a goodbye, and calling members by their name when they first check in and welcoming them back by their first name. During a walk around on the fitness floor, offer to review their exercise schedule or their program or their goals. Suggest a new program or a Groupex class based on what you've had a conversation about with that member. Having open conversations and really hearing what they're saying before you actually suggest anything. Suggest a webinar. Suggest a session with a personal trainer. Whatever other special sessions might be going on, offer those things. One of my customers has a really great best practice. They organize a buddy system. They buddy a new member up, or a member that hasn't been in there for a while, with someone with similar goals. And again, particularly with those new members or new exercisers that might be a little foggy on what to do and how to do it and how to ensure that they're motivated to come in. So by buddying them up with someone else within the facility is a great way to ensure that they have that motivation. Create a contest in which members potentially earn points for attendance and participating in activities within your facility, or even just showing up to the club. So as I just talked about previously, when members are interacted with and you get a commitment from them to actually attend a specific class or a specific program or a specific service on a specific date, they have a higher rate of actually attending. So once you have that commitment from them that they're going to attend a class, they're going to attend a session, they're going to come in for a consultation, ensuring that you're following up with them the day before to remind them, either by phone call or if you do see them in the club, ensuring that you're having that conversation. The important thing is that interactions never stop. Create a talk culture or an interaction culture within your clubs, ensuring that there is conversations with members at every single touch point, and not just with those members that your staff are comfortable talking to, but those members that haven't been in for a while, and members that they haven't spoken to before. So as your members, as their visits stack up, you need to continue to build stronger and stronger relationships with them. So how do we do that? It's crucial that we, first of all, remember their names. Members like it when they hear their names. We all know that. Again, that's a back to basic. Calling a member by their name gets them perked up. Remembering those people that you've spoken to and something about them. Get them involved in more activities within your club to continue building a feeling that they're part of a larger social group and a larger community. Ensure that they've joined your online social media community, whatever that is, and ensuring that there's communication between your social community, whether it's your club community and your member community as well. Plan social events. A fun way to facilitate bonds, not only between members, member to member, but between staff and members, is to have some sort of a social event, whether it's monthly, quarterly. Recognizing and rewarding members when they reach small milestones, and the small milestone may be just working out or coming to the club once a week, or reaching that first step of losing the weight, adding more weight, whatever that milestone is for them, recognizing them for that and acknowledging their triumphs. Acknowledging the triumphs of your members obviously increases their feeling of belonging. If you don't have a bulletin board, post a bulletin board that boosts your members' accomplishments. Have a member of the month. There are many, many ways to actually reward and ensure that their peers are seeing their accomplishments as well. And most importantly, to add to building to the relationships, ask for their feedback. Are you surveying your members? If not, you should start surveying them now. Asking members for feedback shows the member that you want to know what they think, whether it's good, bad, or ugly. Members' feedback is crucial to building a relationships with your members, to get to know them and ensure that they're happy and motivated. Member feedback is crucial to yours and your team's accountability. Member feedback is crucial to your team motivation. Member feedback is crucial to ensure you're spending your time, your efforts, your team's time, and your team's efforts in the areas that will make a difference, not only to you, but to your members. Members' feedback is crucial to ensure you're allocating your financial budget in the areas that will make the biggest impact to your business and the biggest impact to your members. And once you receive that feedback, you must follow up and let the member know you received it, you've read it, you're taking some sort of action to make actionable improvements. Or, the feedback has been good and you're going to, thank them for that feedback and ensure that you're relaying that information to your team as well. Kudos to your team. And once you receive that feedback, you must be making and taking actionable decisions to fix what's working and what's not working, and continue to do things that you're doing right, and continue to build on those things and potentially moving those things to the next level. And asking for feedback can further grow your club community, as your promoters will invite their friends to join them at the club as well. So you have this whole slew of, salespeople now at your fingertips, your promoters. And feedback just doesn't happen one time. You need to continue to ask for feedback constantly, not just once a year. You want to ensure that you're building on what your members are continually saying to you, and their feedback is going to change from month to month, from quarter to quarter. So with all that said, just some key highlights that I want to point out here. First of all, can you identify who's not attending? If not, you need to look at ways to do this now to ensure that you're quantifying who those members are that are potentially at the highest risk of leaving, not coming back, not being engaged, not reaching their goals, not going to refer people to you, and not continue long-term within your facility. Stay in touch. Stay in touch through the summer season and any other holiday season. You should never be out of touch with your members. It's important to maximize member engagement so that when they actually return, it will be with excitement, with eagerness, with enthusiasm of getting back on track. And they're keeping your brand at top of mind all the time, even if they're out of your facility. Develop a communication strategy. designed to maximize opportunities to interact with members within your club face-to-face and outside your club when they're not in your facility, because the reality is they're probably spending more time outside your club this time of year and every day rather than inside your club. So how are you going to maximize some sort of communication strategy when they're outside your facility? Talk to your members, create a conversation culture within your clubs. Implement methods to maximize your face-to-face communication, and how are you going to monitor the progress of that face-to-face communication. And then ask for feedback. Are you surveying? If you're not, you need to start surveying now. Ask your members how you're doing, how they're feeling within your facility, and then use that information to maximize your actions to improve whatever it is that needs improvement. And whatever you're doing well, continue to do those things well in order to move to the next level as well and provide your staff with motivation, kudos, feedback, and ensuring that you're providing that positive reinforcement as well. So with that said, just a number of different things that you can do to actually maximize and re-engage your members, reach out, engage, and build that communication. So at this point, we'll open it up for questions. James, if there are any questions.
Yeah, none have come in as yet, but it's now your opportunity to just pop those questions in through that box that you used at the start of today's session to just share where you were joining us from. I mean, we say questions here, but any kind of discussion points, anything you'd like to share. I think particularly it may be interesting to talk for me about your experience of competitions in the gym, so whether that's between members or the club I'm currently at the moment does competitions between kind of beat the PT, so that's a really great way, I think, of engaging and building that camaraderie between a member and your staff. That would be an interesting area to talk through.
Yeah, absolutely. So many ways to do competitions, as James said, between your staff, your team members, and the members, and between members as well. Also to ensure that new members are getting involved in those things. So ensuring that you're creating these competitions, let's say, or contests that are going to also fit within the realms of membership demographic types as well. So make it as easy or as easy for them to participate throughout their time in your facility.
Sophie, can you see any questions? Because
I don't see anything.
Yeah, my question box seems to have disappeared. Just another thing that I picked up as well is the idea on the build point. So I think, as you kind of alluded to, and for me this was the strongest thing, was that not only are you building relationships within the club, but you're building, as a byproduct of that, you build a community which then kind of expands itself. So you build that community through feedback, especially. So by putting that effort into those individual relationships, it creates group relationships, which then kind of radiate and attract new members.
Mm-hmm. I don't see any questions, James. Other questions?
Okay. So if that is the case, then we will just end today's sessions there. If any questions do come in after today's session, then we're more than happy to take those. Here are Sophie's contact details. If you'd like to speak to Sophie or anyone else here at TRP about how to re-engage your members or anything else around the member experience arena, then we're more than happy to discuss those with you, and I think Sophie would be more than happy to take your calls or reply to your emails on the topic. So again, have we just had a question come in?
Yeah, I see a couple now.
everyone's woken up. Right. Oh, we've got Craig on the line as well, who can see the questions. There seems to be a bit of technical difficulties with Sophie and I. Craig's just going to join us now, I think. Craig,
So,
you there?
yeah, yes. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Cool. There's a question from Robin Smeets, and he said, can you give an example of methods to maximise face-to-face communication with members instead of a high and a dry?
Absolutely, absolutely. So on the Groupex is one of the biggest ways to do this, actually. So so when members are coming into your Groupex class, ensuring that the Groupex instructor, if they're a new exerciser, as an example, introduce them to the Groupex instructor, the fitness instructor, ensuring that they understand they're a new exerciser, and taking them through that. On the fitness floor, walking around the floor and having open conversations with, and again, I stress to say that they should be approaching people they haven't approached before, so to get to know more members within the facility, potentially asking if they can review their program, asking them if they know about a new Groupex class, do they know there's a nutrition program going on, building the relationships, so not falling into the trap of immediately telling them how they can fix their program, but starting a conversation, introducing themselves, finding out how long they've been a member, and so on.
Super. Leon Mitchell asked, how do you monitor the development of a communication culture?
Sorry, I missed that, Craig.
How do you monitor the development of a communication culture?
Right. There's a number of different ways to actually monitor that. If you have a digital strategy, there's a number of reports that can be, reported for that, and ensuring that your staff are actually documenting whatever communication they're having with these members and how they're moving that communication. Is that member coming back? Are they revisiting? Training, ensuring that you're training your staff in a way that you would expect them to reach out to these members face-to-face when they're in the facility. So ensuring you're having the right conversations and training techniques and coaching, and they're doing those things properly and the way you would expect them to do it.
Super. There's a question from Sharon Klein. How long do you think a member has to not attend in order to be considered at risk of leaving? Is this the same for a member who visits 3 to 5 times a week versus one who visits just 1 to 2 times a week?
Yeah, we've done a lot of research on this, Sharon, and our research shows that members should be attending at least, once a week to ensure that they're staying engaged consistently and motivated consistently. So that's our number. So if you're ensuring that those members are coming in and having some sort of interaction once per week, it's a good gauge. Obviously, if they're coming in more, it's even better. The more engaged, the more involved. They know exactly what's happening within the facility. They're actually achieving their goals, and so on. So if they're not attending at least 4 times within a month, they're more higher at risk.
Super, thanks for that one. Alison from the Chase Golf Club has asked, what's a good way to engage with 50+ members that may not be interested in competitions?
So I would look at specific things with that demographic. What sort of nutrition information can you provide them? Can you provide them a group personal training session that's specific to that group? Can you provide them some sort of competition that is relative to them, that maybe a yoga's class specific for the 50+ market, something that they're going to be interested in. But I would also say that just because they're 50+ doesn't mean that they're not interested in the competition. So do you want to run a competition just for that specific group? What would be the things? You know your group much better than I would know, so look at the ways, maybe ask them for things that they would like. Have a roundtable discussion with that group. What sort of things would they be interested in?
I think sometimes with the competition, it depends how you put it together as well,
Presented.
doesn't it? If it's a competition where the person who completes the most wins, it's a little bit different where it's just participation by itself. Yeah. Phil Follett says, I run a nutrition coaching service and the club is online. Many of the things you've mentioned would work, but I wonder if there is any additional points for an online community.
Do you mean, so Phil, I'm assuming you mean additional
Maybe like the touch points and
touch points?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's with the online community, it's to ensure that you're always making it exciting and there's always something new. So you're ensuring that you're looking at the usability of that, and is your online community talking to each other as well, not just you? So ensuring that that's happening.
Okey-doke. Alex Haskins said, is there any difference that you know of how to engage and develop usership with youth in the community?
Yeah, that's an interesting one. So, Alex, you know what? I'll send you some information on that. Actually, I do have some specific information on how to engage youth. Well, first and foremost, do you have the programs that are going to get them to actually want to come to your facility? What are those programs? Do you have family membership? Is that going to help as well? So really looking at your programs and usability, and does it make sense?
I think there are quite a few more questions, so I think this may be good to, if we'll get back to all of the other people that have posted questions, because there's quite a few more to still get through. Yeah.
Excellent,
Yes.
thank you for that, Craig. Yes, a few technical difficulties on my and Sophie's side, so apologies for those, but we got to as many of the questions as we could in the end, and as Craig and Sophie said, anyone whose questions have gone unanswered today will follow up after today's session. Any other questions, again, that pop into your mind, the contact details of Sophie are on the screen. She'll be more than happy to speak to you about all things member experience. So yeah, thanks to Sophie once again, and thanks to everyone for joining us. Thanks to Craig for picking up the questions, and we'll speak to you all next month, if not before. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you all. Have a great day. Bye-bye.